Hey everyone, I just wanted to hop on here real quick and do something a little different, something that I normally do not do. And I want to share some gratitude with you. I want to give you some background for why I started this channel and share a programming update. I wanted to say thank you to everyone who has subscribed to the show or watches the show and comes back week after week. I started this podcast in the summer of 2022. And I even remember after recording those first few episodes, I was so scared and I was so nervous to put it out there. I was afraid that no one would care or no one would want to watch. I was also afraid that I wouldn't even be able to get guests on the show. I had my first few who came on, and I had a lot of fear at the time. I was scared. And I remember like finally taking that leap on August 9th, 2022. And I remember kind of setting this goal with my friends and family that if I could hit 10,000 subscribers in a year, that would be like the dream. And I have to say, it was so special on the 1 year anniversary of August 9th, 2023, to actually hit that milestone. That meant so much. There were a lot of texts throughout the year of starting to see that progress, and we're almost there. We're almost there. We're going to hit the milestone with friends and family, and to hit it on the exact date just was so special. And I want to thank you for supporting the show and coming back week after week and joining me in the comments section, especially those who were there in those earlier days. You know who you are. And I love seeing you there. And it means so much to me. And your words of encouragement and support and feedback. I read everything that you write. I read all of your emails. I read all of your comments. And it means so much to me. And I just want to say thank you. I'm just really full of gratitude. And also thank you to the guests who have come on. We've had some incredible guests, especially those who were coming on in those earlier days when I didn't have a big audience and I had just a couple hundred people, and I'd get some incredible names. And it means so much. That support means a lot. I do want to share a bit about myself and why I started the show. I was a journalist for over a decade in New York City, and I started out as a writer. Actually, had some advice when I was leaving journalism school from a pretty famous broadcaster who lived in my hometown. And he said, you should go learn how to write before you do on air because it will help you with asking questions. And I do think that was really good advice. And around 2016, it was late 2016, it was December 2016, it was one of my first on-camera interviews. And I remember that moment so well. It was an interview with Howard Schultz, then the CEO of Starbucks. And I remember how nervous I was in that room. He was going around and doing interviews with CNN, CNBC, Bloomberg, ABC News, you name it, all the big networks. And I had the last interview of the day. Remember, we were crunched for time. There wasn't much time. But I do remember when I had that interview that I did my homework. I read all the books. I went deep on the research. And I think that showed. And I think that was recognized. And that was such a defining moment for me, was to do your homework before you sit in that interviewer's chair. I think that is one of the most foundational, important things. And I did a lot of CEO interviews, a lot of interviews with well-known investors during my time as a journalist. And one of the things I always found was that there really wasn't enough time. You couldn't really go deep when you had a 7-minute TV hit, 10 minutes if you were really lucky, or 20 if you really, really pushed. But what I found was that I think the viewers wanted that. They wanted these longer form conversations. They wanted to learn more. And I've always had that view that people wanted to learn more. I also had this view that it's not about the interviewer, and it should never be about the interviewer. I find that, sometimes a lot of folks might interrupt their guest when they're saying something really important, or they might make it about them to try to show that they know something. And I never want it to be about me. I want it to always be about the guest, and the guest, according to like my rules and way of doing things, is the guest is the hero, not the interviewer. And so I only share those things because I just had this hypothesis that people wanted longer form, deeper conversations, more time, and make it less about the person who's hosting the show, more about the guest. So I live by these rules where always do your homework. Do not sit in that interviewer's chair without doing your homework. It doesn't mean you have to know everything, but do your homework. Actively listen and follow up. So I try to do that. I do take notes when I'm doing the show too, but I really want to listen to what the guest is saying. This is probably one of my more important rules, and that's to speak less and listen more. I call this my 90-10 rule. So you might notice on the show that um, I speak maybe 10% of the time, and I think a lot of you all really like that. And I'm so grateful that you do, is letting the guest go and not interrupting them. I've had guests talk and answer one question that it took them 10 minutes or no, not even 10, 20 minutes. I had a guest answer, I think the record's probably 20 minutes for one question. And you know what? There's like magic in that 20 minutes. And if I interrupted them, we would miss that. And so I really appreciate that a lot of you all enjoy that and like that. It means a lot. It's nice to see that hypothesis validated, and that people appreciate that. As I also mentioned, the guest, not the interviewer, is the hero. I don't want you all to come to this channel because of me. I want you to come to the channel because of the guest. I always want my guest to be the hero of the show, even though my name's on the show, which is another story. That was not my original intention, but I do believe the guest is the star, not the interviewer. And I got to say, your support, your kind words and comments, and even feedback, and even when I kind of mess up too, I do respect the criticism too. But yeah, your support week after week, it really energizes me to do the work, to have faith, to trust the process, and to keep going. And I have to say, it's just an absolute dream to be able to do something that I'm so passionate about. I love this so much. You have no idea. And now that I told you a bit about why I started the show, I want to share a programming update. I'm taking some time off, but don't worry, I'm not a lot of time off. I'm just taking this week off. We just aired episode 99 on Tuesday with Peter Cicchini, and I'm taking this week off for an overdue vacation. I'm spending a lot of time reading and prepping for episode 100. I cannot wait to share episode 100, airing on September 7th. Probably the biggest guest we've had so far. This is someone I have wanted to do an hour-long exclusive sit down and really go deep with for probably a decade. And some of you know who I'm talking about. And actually, some of you all tweeted at this person that they should come on my show. And that's actually how it happened. I didn't even make the ask right away, but thank you so much for those who tweeted. That means a lot. I'm just beyond excited to have this conversation, to sit in the interviewer's chair for this one. So I hope you all forgive me for taking this time off so I can do the work and just unplug for a bit. I cannot wait to be back. So airing at 10 a.m. on September 7th will be episode 100. I hope you all will join me then, and I look forward to seeing you when I'm back. Thank you again for all your support. It means everything. And I'm just excited to continue to build this channel with you. Thanks for being on this journey with me. I really appreciate you all.